Howdy.
Hello. We're back.
We are back. I was not feeling well last Monday, but all better now.
Well, that's good. I wasn't feeling good on Thursday and Friday. I had like a 48-hour headache.
Ugh.
So, yeah, not
Usually
good.
if I have a headache, it's like because the weather changed.
Yep, me
Like
too.
Friday morning, I didn't get any sleep that whole night because I guess weather changed and I had allergy attack.
Yeah, I get them when the storm fronts come through. Yeah, it was not good. So it was so bad on Thursday that usually Jake and I talk on the phone for like an hour every day. And I
And you couldn't.
told him,
Nope.
I can't talk.
No voices. No voices in my ear today.
No talking, no nothing. I was done. So
Yep. I get that.
I'm better today.
Cool.
I'm better today. We have lots of people here, and Scotty and Usama are together.
Yeah.
This is a
Escaping.
blanket hello from both of them. Well, that's fun.
Yeah, they were live for a couple of hours this
Yeah,
afternoon.
I peeked in and lurked a little. Looks like you guys are doing some good stuff. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I wish I had a escaping friend here. Well, I guess I can make Jake escape with me.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
I mean, you tell him to put things in places, and
I mean,
yeah.
he has to lift everything, obviously. But,
Right.
But I kind of do all escaping by myself. So
And Jenna's driving to Hobby Lobby.
what's Jenna getting at Hobby Lobby?
Diamond art.
Oh,
It seems like the most tedious thing to do, but yeah, I can't do tedious things. Other people can. Other people find them therapeutic.
Yeah, I mean, I knit. That's fairly tedious.
Yeah.
I mean, but you don't think about it, right? Like you can like watch a show or listen to a podcast or listen to music, like you know.
I guess editing video is kind of tedious. Like when I do subtitles and stuff, like the songs I've been doing, I have to do subtitles and I have to sync each word like perfectly with the sound, and that's very tedious.
I mean, my entire job is tedious. So, I mean, going to meetings is tedious. I partake in a lot of tedium.
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't like it, because I already have to do it. Life is too much maintenance and tedium and things.
I get that.
Ugh.
I don't know. I like knitting because then at the end of it, you get a sweater.
That's true. You're making a thing that can be used.
It's true. I mean, sometimes I wish it could go faster, but it goes as fast as it goes. It takes a lot of hours.
Yep.
That's why I only knit sweaters for myself.
We're making progress and shipping out member plants. Probably do another one this week because it's warm enough for pretty much everybody.
Yep, it's good times to ship. Yep, I shipped some stuff. I sent some stuff to Candy, and she got them. I sent some stuff to Bentley, and I don't think he ever got them.
I thought he said on Tuesday that he.
I didn't catch his stream.
Or no, he hadn't checked his mailbox.
He hadn't checked his mailbox, but he hasn't said he's gotten them. So who knows? But Candy got hers, and she was happy. So that's good.
Cool. I shipped that Lily cut chunk, whatever you want to call it, to her too.
Oh, good. And I'm going to be dividing water lilies, not this week because it is still cold here. I mean, tonight is going to be 33 degrees, so that water is still pretty cold. But maybe toward the end of the week I will. It's going to be warm up. If not the week after, I'll do it. And but I don't have the stuff to do it in yet. I need to buy substrates to mix up, and I don't know. I need Jake for that because those bags are pretty heavy. So yeah, but I will be writing those. And Cora Works, I'm gonna send him water lily because I know he wants one. So,
what kind of substrate did you get?
So this year I've always done a mixture of sand and cheap topsoil. But Nancy B in Tennessee had such good luck using kitty litter and cheap topsoil that I'm going to do that. However, for you, you should just use dirt from your yard.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Like it's just good. Like I don't have to mix it with sand or anything. I can
No,
just
you have
straight up dump it
perfect
in the
dirt.
pot.
Yeah, you guys have very heavy clay soil. So if you live in a place with heavy clay soil, like if the dirt in your yard is red, just use that.
Nice.
Is there some
Which kitty?
meowing going on? Which kitties are so meowing?
You don't know which cat it is?
I think that's Tiny Kitty. It's not
Hmm.
Fat Kitty. He's asleep. I think it's Tiny Kitty. What's she meowing for? Kitties.
Attention.
Kitties! What are you talking about, kitties? Here she comes. Come here,
Matt says your cat is upsetting my Marie. Please
kitty.
make it continue.
Hi, kitty. There she is. Come here, Tiny Kitty. I would pick her up, but it's hard. She's a skittish kitty.
Wow.
She's very skittish. So.
Phoebe likes to be held, but she's getting so old that you have to be really like gentle and slow, careful with her. You can't just hold her up like you can when they're younger. Her
I mean,
bones
none
getting.
of my cats particularly like to be picked up. But like Fat Kitty and Big Kitty, they'll tolerate it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about, kitty?
Zen wants you to do book readings for her, but all in her different kitty voices.
Kitties! Cats. Come here, kitty. There she is. Oh,
There she is. Like, nope, that's not what I wanted.
She just no. She just no.
Oh, good Lord.
Tiny kitty. Indoor cat owners will never know the joy of receiving dead mice as gifts.
Thank God.
Well, there are plenty of outdoor cats who do that for me. So,
Ugh. Well, I will never know the joy of it, and I'm okay with that.
yeah, you don't need that in your life. I mean, I'm glad they kill mice because I don't really like mice. I'm pretty anti-mouse. So,
QC said, asked, when am I dropping the next single? In terms of like me making the music entirely on my own, it'll be a while, but I do have something I've been mulling over. But as a distraction, I've been messing around with those AI songs,
those
like
are pretty fun though.
writing my own lyrics and then like generating about 100 of them until it gives me something that works. And yeah, I have like, I don't know, 5 of those in the queue. I'll probably just do like a short a week or something.
Those are
So
pretty fun. The filter gravy one, that's the
yeah,
best. That's the best. That one's really good.
yeah,
So,
didn't do well though. I think because of the swearing. And then the ones that I released in the last couple of weeks, they don't have any bad words in them, and they're actually doing really well. Like I put them on TikTok as well. They're actually doing better on TikTok. I think TikTok is better suited for that kind of content.
yeah, you're probably right because it's short. Oh, and Candy says thank you for the plants. You were very welcome,
Awesome.
Candy. Enjoy. I love that crypt. It's done so well for me. And as crypts go, it's not terribly invasive. So it's a
Cool.
good one. It's a good one.
What kind of crypt?
Hutteroy crypt. It's the one that's in the
Oh,
center right
yeah.
here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's like that deep reddish purple color.
Hmm.
Good plant.
My God, you have some patience. You are a saint with the stupidity you are dealing with. Oh man, just people who like need to turn their listening ears on when Corey says something during the stream. Is the whole store moving? Like, I think he just said the warehouse.
I didn't catch his last stream, so he's moving his warehouse. That's exciting.
Yeah, the warehouse is moving to Kentucky. The
That
the
makes
retail
sense.
store is staying.
Shipping will be a lot easier. Like,
Probably so.
yeah. So just the plant warehouse or the whole warehouse?
The whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shipping is really hard from Washington State. I mean, it's so expensive and it's not fast. So,
No,
yeah. I mean, that makes sense. That
it
makes
used to
sense.
be. that I would order something from the co-op and it would come in 2 days, like
Yeah.
without
Oh,
fail.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
then USPS started slowing down a good bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And they still, I mean, I can't believe how fast they get it boxed up and in the mail. Like, I swear it's within minutes. So it's, I mean, there's nothing else they can do, really.
I got a shipping notification over the weekend for my last order. Like, geez.
I know. I'm like, wow, that was fast.
I
So,
ordered a light just to try it out. I'm gonna use it instead of I have a Fluval Flex light, which is like, I don't know, 4 LED diodes or something. They're
oh,
terrible.
wow.
I'm gonna replace it with the co-op light, and I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
plant a bunch of myrtle stems like the limnophilas and hygrophillas and do a
Oh,
scape.
that's nice. Yeah.
But they need light, so and the Fluval Flex light just is not cutting it.
No, the co-op light will be good for that, just for us
Yeah.
to farm. Yeah.
Salient needs me to send him a 500-gallon aquarium for free. How about I want you to send me a 500-gallon aquarium for free, and then also like find a place for it. 'Cause I have no idea.
I don't know where you would put that in your house. I mean,
Yeah,
you could get rid of your bed. I mean,
couches, something's gonna go.
yeah. I mean, you've already gotten rid of your dining room table. I
What?
mean,
Which was we actually didn't get rid of it because it's Jenna's desk in the back
oh
room.
yeah. So there you go.
But yeah, we never ate in the dining room anyway. So it was just the
Yeah.
only thing the dining room table was serving as is like a catch-all for when you bring crap inside from the store
Oh,
and you
for
don't have a
sure.
place
I
to put
mean,
it
and
away.
I do that too, but I do actually eat at my dining room table like every
Mhm.
meal. So yeah. So I need to keep my dining room table. I want a bigger dining room table. I think I'm gonna upgrade to one that seats like 8 people. Cause then I can have more people over.
Why?
I like to cook for people.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I like to cook for just Jake and I, but how many desserts can I make for just Jake and I? If I have people over, I can make even more of them. So,
Well, that's a new compliment there. Your tanks look like a cross between Megan Fox and Jesus. They're that good.
wow. I thought you were going to say I looked like a cross between Megan Fox and Jesus. Well, thank you.
What are they talking about? Throat punching. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Candy's not a throat puncher, which is good because you have to keep your calm in customer service. It's
Yeah,
important.
I don't think Zen would make a good customer service rep. Neither would I.
Would I do okay? I mean, I have done work with customers before. I'm pretty patient.
To
So
a point.
yeah.
There has to be a threshold. There has to be a point where Candy is like, I don't understand how this person lives.
Well,
And
everybody has a point, and yeah.
Matt said he'd be on trial for murder in the first week.
Oh God. But Matt, you have clients you have to deal with, so it's not like you're free from working with the public. I mean, I'm sure you've had clients you've had to be really patient with. Oh God, Zanny was fired twice as a reception.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, I was a barista, so
I
that was
worked like my first job was Burger King. I had to deal
yeah.
with customers.
God, that's not easy.
Mm-mm.
I mean the majority of jobs I had were in labs, so I didn't have to work with customers. I mean, between the ages of like 19 and like 34, I didn't have a single job outside of science. So,
Nice.
yeah, it was nice. It was very nice. But also not nice because lab work does grind you down. So,
Yeah, it would suck to be like burnout on your major before you graduate. That's what you wanted to do.
yeah. I mean, I did get really burnt out on it. So, it does grind you down. Pond time. Look at that. Look at that. The pink canna blooming.
I never thought I would
Water
be doing
lilies.
this outside and like actually have stuff do well for me with the first season, the first real season I have it going.
I gotta tell you, ponds are like gardening on easy mode. They really are. I mean, if you think you can't garden, try a pond.
I
Like,
just
if
it
you think
solves the
you can't grow
problem of
plants,
forgetting to water.
yep, yep, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I think they're easier than aquariums. I think growing plants in a pond is just easy.
So this is the canna that you sent me. How tall should I be expecting this to get? And what should I do anything with it?
You don't
Like,
need to do anything. It'll spread within the container and send up more shoots.
okay,
And
so it'll take over this the pot down there.
oh yeah, it'll totally take over that whole pot. Just
So
let it do its thing. It really won't get any taller than that.
is it a
Yeah,
problem
cannas
that
are
I have
really.
this canna next to it in the same pot?
Oh, it's in the same pot.
Yeah,
I would,
I can repot it. I just have to like
you know,
squeeze it
I
next to
would.
the
Did that other canna ever do well for you?
this one when I this one came from KJE. When I got it, it was in the dead heat of summer and nothing was really doing well, but I just planted it anyway. And then now finally this season it's coming back and
I
it's
would honestly, I would get rid of it, and I would maybe plant it in your yard.
I refuse.
Just
Okay, yeah.
plant it in your
I'll plant
yard.
it. Okay, I can do that. I
Yeah,
refuse to get rid of plants though.
it'll do really well in your yard.
Mhm.
Yeah, just plant it in your yard because some cannas don't do
I,
well in ponds, and it's hard to know which ones will do well in a pond. I mean, I've gone to just garden centers and I'll pick up a canna, and there's about a 3 in 4 chance it will do well in a pond. And if it's one of the 1 in 4 that doesn't, it kind of does nothing. And oddly enough, that includes ones that are labeled as aquatic cannas that are supposed to do well. They don't do that well. And I don't really know why that is, but this pink canna, it is the best canna I have ever used in a pond. It is so good.
I
And
was
if
thinking about doing some kind of bed like over here on the right side.
yeah,
Plant some
you
stuff
could put
next
some
to it.
more in there. I mean, you need to give that water lily room to roam, is the
Hmm.
thing, because that will take over your pond. But you could probably put another pot of something in there. You could put more stuff on the side.
Yeah, I was thinking about like
So,
like not in the pond, but like outside the pond next to it.
yeah, you could definitely do that. And actually, that would be a good thing to do, I think, because it would, I think, keep the pond a little cooler,
Hmm.
which would help. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it won't do much, but even if it helps a degree or two, that can make a difference. So yeah, you could plant stuff in the garden. You could just pop that canna right in the ground by your pond, and it would
Okay.
probably do really well.
I
Um,
think I'll do that then.
yeah. So that pink canna, if anyone watching this wants to try a canna, it's from Lily Ponds. So LILYPONS.com, the store, which I have bought things from many times. They're very good. And it's just called a pink canna, and it does so well. It's a nice, like, sort of salmony pink color, and I mean, it's Jake's favorite pond flower. So it would probably also do well in your yard. So once it like takes over, if you want to like take out a little chunk and plant it in your yard, you could do that too. Yeah.
This is that daylily that disappeared over like of the summer and winter and then has come back and bloomed this year.
Yeah. So that cultivar is Stelladora, which is actually one of my least favorite plants. I really hate that plant.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I just think it's ugly, and it's in every single ditch and every single like McDonald's garden, along with like pink spireas. And I don't know. It's just like if basic were a flower, it would be a Stelladora daylily. So in general, I don't really like daylilies. I think they're
Uh,
ugly, but Stelladora are the worst of them. So
and then I don't know what this was that
that is
Berkeley
a
gave
yeah,
me.
that's a I mean, they used to be called wandering Jews. Now some people call them wandering dudes. They're a Tratus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're a houseplant. Well, here they'd be a houseplant. I guess probably down there they probably grow year round outside and are probably pretty invasive. But
Oh, and
yeah,
their creeping Jenny came back too. It was like completely gone.
yeah, creeping Jenny here comes back too. It's perennial. And I like to grow that in planters also, not just in ponds, but it does really, really well. It can be kind of invasive some places. So
Mm.
yeah, I know that in like Oregon it's pretty invasive. Here the frost knocks it back, so it's not too bad. Where you live, the heat probably knocks it back a bit. So yeah. I have a really pretty
Let's see what we
purple
got.
Travis concha right here. I don't know if you can
Man,
see that.
I used to take pictures of my kids, and now this is my my Google photos.
I know.
Just
I know. My Instagram is nothing but pond pictures.
I
So I
took
mean,
this one today, but well, it's kind of cloudy. But like, this is the Chihiro's tank, and I can't decide what I want to keep in here, so I'm putting all the things.
that looks really good. Very colorful. And Matt dropped the link for that pig canna. While you're
Nice.
at it, order yourself some other stuff from there. It's a really nice store. I've been very happy with everything I've bought from them. Their quality is really good. They even called me about shipping because they wanted to make sure that like it was coming at the right time. So they're a very good company. I recommend them. And I like to buy from pond retailers that propagate their own stock as opposed to like importing it from,
Yeah,
you know,
just
Asia.
flipping the plants.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So and they do, and also a place called Tricker. They propagate their own stock. They're in Ohio. Lily Ponds is in Maryland. So I really like both of them.
these are Adolpho Corey eggs. This time I'm keeping them in the bedroom so that I can like right by my desk so I can see them every day, like all the time. And you know, hopefully I don't lose the fry again.
Andrew of Aquarium Daily just gave
Oh,
me 5 memberships. Thank you, Andrew.
thanks, Andrew. I appreciate
Nice.
that. Let's see who got those memberships.
Who's getting more plants?
My Fish Tanks Aquatics, Chris Aquazone, Aqua Nugro, Go with the Flow Aquatics, and Bewizzle. Sweet.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna go find your short now of your
Yeah,
pond.
so this is a short I took last year. Right now, my ponds are looking very, very sad. Very sad. But last year, it was a really good year. Some good stuff happened, but
What do
some
you
bad
say
stuff
tonight?
too.
It's gonna be 33 degrees.
Yeah, it's
That
gonna be
sucks.
33, which is just, I mean, if I could get in there and I could divide my water lilies, they're throwing up pads, they're growing, but I just don't like to stick my hands in cold water, so I don't want to do it. Yeah. Oinky says she likes their icon. It's a koi with a lily flower tail tip. Yeah, I like that
Nice.
too.
Cat drinking fountain,
Oh, that's
Pond
cute.
Empire 2023. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah. So this is well, this would be right after I set it up. I thought there was a newer, or there was a short after it had grown in a little bit more.
Maybe.
Uh, hmm, I swear there was.
Or did you make it a short, or did you?
Maybe I made it a video. I think I made it a video. Take a walk through my ponds. There it is.
Oh, you tried to make it a short, but it was too long. So it
Too
was like,
long.
it's a
Yeah,
vertical video.
I know. All right, here we go. So there's that pond. That's a little pond in the corner. That water lily is called Helvula. It's a miniature. It's very cute. It blooms
Good
all the time.
Lord.
This is a, so there's, those are planters all along the sides. It's a pink geranium. I love pink geraniums. Then that water lily in there is one called Augustine Koch, and it bloomed all the time. It was purple, very pretty. It was a tropical, so I have to order those new every year. and some lotuses, more planters. So many planters. There's a lotus in the front.
Dang.
That was a fun plant I grew. That planter. That's black-eyed Susan vine. That's that pink canna in the back there.
What's this? The with the dark stalk.
Yeah, so that is cardinal flower or Lobelia cardinalis. It's
Whoa.
a cultivar called, is it Queen Victoria?
My lobelia doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
Immersed,
it's Queen
submersed.
Victoria. It's Queen Victoria, I think, and it bloomed like crazy. My little picnic table, and so I have little like grow bags hanging off the front that I plant stuff in, and it softens up the edge.
Did those wicks work for you? Like, were you able to just use the wicks and not have to do daily watering?
No, I mean
Mm.
they did a little bit. They helped some, but I still had to water every day, which I don't mind doing. I mean, you know, how much time do I spend working in that garden? I mean, once it's going, I just water every day. Um, but I mean, it was work to put it in.
And how do you water it? Just with like a
The
can, or do
hose.
you have a
No, I use the hose.
hose?
I've
Okay.
got the hose right there. Yeah, I've got the hose right there. It's fun to look at this because I'm still depressed from it not looking like this, and it helps me remember what it looked like at one point.
Yeah, and it'll be
Yeah.
like that again.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, it'll be different. It's different every year, but I try different plants every year. But I think the Lobelia cardinalis has come back. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So Coralworks asked me if I've considered any of those solar drip watering things from pond tier pots. I have considered it. Drip irrigation is really, really cool. And that's something you could consider, Stephen. You are handy. You can buy kits for it. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to set up. And then you could run drip line to every single container, which honestly, if I own this house, which I don't, I would do that. I would run drip to all my containers because they do so much better if you give them consistent watering like every morning, and probably for you also at night also because it's really hot there.
My
Um,
dad did that, except he has like several acres and he like buried lines underground and
yeah,
has spigots at random points in the yard. Like,
yeah.
that's a lot of work.
Right, but you can run drip really simply too. You can
Yeah, it
run
was
it
right
into
there.
containers. You can run it to. So I have those pocket planters of petunias over the fence there. You could run drip to them, and it's not hard to do. And if I own this place, I probably would run drip to all my stuff. And I'm not very handy even. I would just make Jake do it, and it because it's not that hard. Like you could do
Yep.
it, and it wouldn't be hard for you either. You
It
just
wouldn't
plug
need to
it
be
into
solar
your.
either because I have plugs like right there by that
Yeah,
arc.
and you just plumb it into your in like by your hose.
Yep, it's all
It's
right
not
there.
hard. It's not hard to do. They have like proven winners, which they sell at like Lowe's and Home Depot. They make a kit for running drip irrigation. So like those wall planters there at the end, so
Mhm.
those teal colored planters, you
Yeah.
could run drip to all of those, and it would do really, really well. So I've thought of like running some sort of drip, like exact from the pond itself to the planters, but I don't mind watering it every day. The only thing that sucks is when I go on vacation, I do need to, like, my pet sitter has to water everything once a day. And once a day is enough here. And if it rains or it's not too hot, I can get away with every couple days.
Hmm.
But where you live, I think you'd have to water twice a day because it's hot there. Yeah, it's really hot there.
Yeah, I
Um,
would definitely have to automate that.
yeah, but you can do it and it's not hard. And it's better, it's way better for your plants too, because consistent watering makes such a difference, especially with like petunias and plants like that. So, it's something that if you ever want to do something like this, I would suggest you do that. Yeah, Zenny says so hot.
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean,
she was like saying, "I
yeah.
pray for you come August. How about June? Like
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
June,
exactly.
July. It's terrible."
Yeah, I mean, like we put up with miserable winters and like tons of cloudless or cloudy days and no sun. But we have like really beautiful summers here. It's usually in the mid 80s. The humidity is around 50%, so it's not that humid. It's very nice here. I mean, our summers are really, really nice. So
Mhm.
it's a good time to visit Indiana. I mean, you're still in Indiana though, which is not that great. But our summers are very pleasant.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, really the only thing keeping me from like enjoying my pond as much in the summer as mosquitoes. Ooh. And I mean, I live by the river. They're not coming from my pond because I have fish in my ponds. I use mosquito dunks. Even if I don't have fish, I still use mosquito dunks because I'm afraid of mosquitoes. And yeah, so that sucks. That limits, because otherwise I would sit outside every single evening after yoga and just, read and listen to live streams and, just sit by my pond because I have that little picnic table there and it's really pleasant out. But
Hmm. But they
I,
love us, Gene said.
yeah, I just get eaten alive. I mean, and I
Yeah.
react really badly to mosquito bites. I'm just really delicious and I swell up. So,
Oh yeah, they love me a lot.
yeah, yeah. So, but I have found this product. It's a natural product. It's called Mosquito Beater. It's made by the company Bonide. They
A
make a lot of
skin
like
product.
no,
Oh,
no, it's something you sprinkle on your lawn
oh, okay.
and it'll last like a couple weeks unless it rains, which it always rains here. So I usually apply it all the time. But you just sprinkle the granules in your lawn. I usually sprinkle some by the door so like mosquitoes don't come in the house. All around that picnic table. I usually do the whole yard because my yard is really small.
Hmm.
But yeah, Zenny says, why didn't you go with Skeeter Beater? You're so right. You're so right. But it does work. And it's made of like it's like these granules of like corn cob that are like soaked in garlic and like geranium oil and some other essential oils like citronella. It does seem to help quite a bit. And it's pet safe.
We just put
Yeah.
that good old fashioned DEET on our skin.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is like I don't really react well to DEET either. Like I use it because sometimes I have to. I put it on my body, but I
Hmm.
I would never spray the yard with it because of all the outdoor cats and the fish. So Coro says, don't forget planters lose water faster than the ground. Yeah, you do have to water them a lot. And that's why like drip is really, really nice, drip irrigation.
What kind of substrate is in those hanging planters? The
Hanging
teal ones.
planters, it's like potting soil, like good potting soil, not cheap potting soil. Get the good stuff. I really like a company called Black Gold. You can buy it at nurseries. That one's really good. But also like Miracle Grow works fine.
Okay.
I've made my own mixes before, but I found it's not really a big cost savings to make your own. So I usually just buy it. And I replace those every single year. I put in fresh soil, and then the old soil I pile in the garden itself because I do have some like garden beds, and that helps with that.
Mm.
So, but yeah, it's just ordinary soil, and but I do have to water them a lot, and I do fertilize them a lot also. So I because the hanging planters are very heavy feeders. So in general, there's a lot of fertilizing going on out there. My water lilies and my plants, water lilies, I fertilize like every other week. I give them a tablet.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do
Yeah,
that. I
I
need to put
know.
more pond tabs in there.
I know. You need to just make yourself like a Google reminder.
I do. Yep.
Yeah, because otherwise it's easy to forget. And
It's been a few
so I give
weeks.
them each a tablet every other week to keep them blooming. And I just use whatever pond tablets they have. You think I use pond tabs? Doesn't matter. Just as if it's a tablet for ponds, it'll work.
Hmm.
And then my all my other plants around there, I give them Miracle Grow every single week. Every Friday is Fertilizer Friday. I have one of those little sprayer attachments that I attach to my hose sprayer, and I feed them that way because those planters really are heavy feeders.
But you would want to avoid getting that in the pond, right? Because it's kind of ammonia heavy.
Yeah. So, and it's pretty easy to avoid that. I've found it's, because you can direct where you're spraying it. It's not a problem.
Gotcha.
So they're very heavy feeders though. So if you want your annuals to look really good, you've got to feed them.
Yeah, I noticed like the lily flowers. They when I fertilized, like I was getting 3 flowers, and then I was getting 2. Now I'm getting 1, and so yeah, it's probably time.
Yeah. And constant feeding is really the key for those. Also, I mean, you do need to repot them every year if you want them to do well. You need to divide them every year because they outgrow their pot really fast, especially that variety there that Stephen is growing is Juan Visa. That
Yeah,
one
it's crazy.
really outgrows its pot fast. But all water lilies do, except for the little baby miniature one like Helvula,
Mm.
which has the really tiny little white flowers. That one, I didn't divide it last year because it really didn't need it yet, but I will divide it this year. But it's very tiny. So everything else though, they have to be divided every year. So and
Gotcha.
cannas, you will that canna
How do
probably.
you divide it?
Oh, you just take it out of the pot and take a shovel and bust it
Okay.
out. Yeah. And I saved a piece of that canna in the basement because my basement is really cold. Cannas for you will grow year round. You don't have to put it in storage. I do though because it's cold here.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I lost anything except for it's like chameleon plant.
yeah,
I think that's what it's called. It
yeah,
didn't really do well in like to begin with, and then it just disappeared
yeah, and
on me.
it might have been an annual too. I'm not familiar with that one. So Coro asked that any Lily giveaways or anything. How do we get on Kelly's nice list? I am going to send you one, Coro. You're on my list. I don't know how many I'll have. I don't know if I'm going to do giveaways. I haven't decided, but you are definitely getting one because I know you want one. So because I know
There
you
you
have
go.
a pond. Like I don't really like to give them to people who don't have ponds. So.
Well, I mean, where else would you grow them? That would be terrible for an
Yeah, I
aquarium.
mean, there's some people like, oh, I think I want one. I'm like, do you really? I don't know, but I know you have a pond, so you're for sure gonna get one. So, but
Coro's on the list. Coro's
but
on
I, I
many
don't want to
lists.
do it right now because it's too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe later in the week I will. Well, I also don't want to do it until I get all the bags of kitty litter, and I don't want to go to the store and buy those myself because it's heavy, and I want to make Jake do it. So.
You'll have to give me the report on the kitty litter.
Well, Nancy B did it last year, and I can't believe how much it bloomed. And the only difference between what we did is she used kitty litter instead of sand, and oh my god, it did well. But you have heavy clay soil. Like you're
Yeah.
using the perfect substrate.
Well, I'm not right now because I just mixed the potting, like the organic potting mix and sand, just because I had it on hand and wasn't
Yeah,
sure about my own dirt.
I would use.
Um,
Yeah, your dirt that you have in your yard is perfect. Like
I
it
need
could.
to do that because it like the dirt I have in there right now, it kind of leaches into the water.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to frost it with a good layer of pea gravel or
Mhm.
sand, like, a good inch and a half or 2 inches. So
Yeah.
Candy says she always plants her water lilies in heavy clay soil. Yeah, definitely. If you have heavy clay soil in your yard, also, I mean, it works great. I don't have heavy clay soil here in Indiana, so I have to make it with something else. And that's why I think that it's going to do even better if I use that kitty litter, because kitty litter is made of clay. You can also use what's that baseball conditioner? The soil that it's not Soil Master Select. It's they sell it at Lowe's. Bentley uses it as substrate. Help me out, chat. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
safety
about.
orb.
Safety's orb. Yeah. That's really hard to find around here for some reason, but you can use that too. But kitty litter is easy to find, so
Didn't Bentley say they'll ship it?
yeah, they'll ship it to the store, and that's the store I would go and buy stuff at. But I couldn't get it last year. They're like, no, we can't get it in for you for 6 weeks. I'm like, all right. So Candy says she has forest soil, so she has to make clay soil. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But
Got it.
Steven, you have clay soil. Like I've seen it. It's red.
It's
You can
there.
just-
Yep.
Yeah, you can just use that. Yeah, like if you live in Oklahoma or Georgia, they have clay soil. You can just use that. Oh, in Montana, you had clay. Yeah, that's perfect for ponds. Our soil here is pretty loamy. It's not quite, it's pretty good soil actually. I mean, for gardening, it's not as good as Iowa's soil because nothing is. Iowa has the best dirt on earth. It's so good.
And the worst weather.
It's the worst weather and the best dirt. I mean, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. I mean, so Brooklyn says she's digging up a lot of clay in her front yard garden. She's posting it for free on Marketplace.
Nice.
Maybe someone will want it, Brooklyn. I don't know. I mean, Stephen can take a little bit of it to pot his plants. I guess you could also just take dirt from your own yard.
I'm gonna be a pain in the ass about it and send Brooklyn a bunch of messages like asking stupid questions about the free dirt. Can I come get it at 4 a.m.? I'm gonna knock on your door.
Can you put it in bags for me?
Can you take a picture of all the dirt and line it up so I can see how much there is?
Oh, God.
So, did you see Coral's question? How do we know when it's time to divide them? I know it's better to let them stay dormant all winter as a whole tuber.
Yeah, so you can do it anytime that you feel like sticking your hands in the water. I usually do mine in the spring. Ted Coletti likes to do his in the fall because he likes to store his water lilies in the basement. I just store them outside, but he likes to store it. So, I mean, different strokes for different folks. You do need to do them unless it's a very miniature variety every single year. That one Visa one, technically you should probably divide it a couple times a year because it is so vigorous. Anytime is fine. Anytime you feel like sticking your hands in the water, it's fine. So Koras is splitting your lily the best way to propagate them. Can you cross-pollinate and hybridize? Splitting is the best way. You can do cross-pollination and hybridization. That is how they get new varieties. It's not easy to do though because you need a lot of space to grow all those babies and like choose the best ones. That's kind of for people who have like giant ponds who want to take on that kind of genetics project. A lot of the varieties that we're growing are very old. Even Monet grew them in his water garden. In his, he painted them actually. So it's kind of fun to think about that. So like Helvela is one of the varieties that I grow, and Monet grew it in his water gardens and painted them. Pretty cool. So
I think June's asking you if you live in Iowa. You used to live in Iowa.
I used to. I'm from Iowa. I lived there for 34 years. I feel like I know the state.
Enjoyed the hard liquid rock water and
yeah, but the best soil on earth. I mean, there's nowhere better. I mean, the dirt that my parents have in their backyard, you don't need to do anything to it, and it grows everything amazing. So, it's got to have something going for it. There's a reason that they produce more corn than any other state because it's a very productive soil.
Let's see.
Oh God,
If the clay is shrimp safe. I know that's Candy's favorite question about Easy Green. Wait, is Easy Green shrimp safe?
I mean,
I saw copper on the bottle.
Oh God. A clay soil is shrimp safe. So, yeah. But I mean, I've heard of people growing shrimp in their ponds, but for me, like they would all die at the end of the season when it got too cold. So I don't do it, but I've heard of people doing it. Chorus, what kinds of plants should we avoid growing in our pond tubs? Hygrophila polysperma, for example, is a noxious weed in my state. I wouldn't grow that
everywhere.
in your pond because, you could imagine some bird taking a little piece of it and then flying off to your waterways. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't grow anything outside that's on your state's list of bad
that is
plants.
an inside. Don't tell anyone you got it from me plant.
Yeah, so keep that one inside. And you can find out that list by going to your state's extension page or your state's DNR page. They'll also have it there too of what not to grow. I don't grow a whole lot of aquarium plants in my pond simply because there are better looking plants. I mean, I'm
I
growing.
did take some Pogo erectus and put it in the pot, but I had it in the same pot as the canna, and the canna's just like, nope, get out of the way, and it's
Yeah, I
gone.
tried to grow Pogo erectus last year and I couldn't get it to convert. I
Mm.
would like to try to grow that one again because that does have super attractive flowers. They're purple, they're very large, it's very pretty. So I might try to grow that one again. But in general, there are just way better looking plants. Um, yeah. I mean, I would rather grow water lilies and
Well,
lotuses.
stuff that looks good when it grows out of the water because you can't really see anything in the pond, like in the tub itself.
Yeah, Pogo erectus coral. It has purple flowers, and they're big. They're big, fuzzy flowers. They're very pretty. So, I mean, I might try to go that one again. Maybe I'll have Steven send me some. But
I don't have it anymore because it doesn't look
yeah,
good and it doesn't look good submersed, and so I didn't have a reason to keep it
yeah,
around.
yeah, and I don't have it either. Um, and I think that you got to be a little careful how you convert it because it can melt in the heat.
Oh well,
So it's
that would
probably better
explain
to.
what.
And it's not even that hot here. I think that you want to
Mhm.
convert it indoors and then bring it outside and like harden it off gradually and then
Gotcha.
plant it because I think the heat just fried it. So, but most of our plants, honestly, they're just not worth my time. When there are so many beautiful water lilies you can grow, I would rather just do that. And you know what? I have plants for in here. I have plants for out there. I get more experience of plants that way.
Hmm.
My just more exciting that way. So yeah. But yeah, don't grow anything that's invasive. Just don't. It's not worth it outside. You don't want to
Yeah,
be part of the problem.
I have water lettuce in there, but I'm
Yeah.
replacing it with red root floaters just because
Yeah.
those look prettier.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Water lettuce here is fine to grow because it will all die in the frost. Just like water hyacinth is fine to grow because the frost kills it. So I usually do buy one water hyacinth every year because that's all you need to buy. It will grow and grow and grow. And I throw some out every day because it actually the bunny likes to eat it. So I usually feed it to her.
Mm.
So yeah.
And Coro said another way timer misters and drippers could help your plants is you can use it to wash off aphids.
I have never had any success with that. So last year I had a really bad plague of aphids, and I think it's because I grew this plant called water poppy, which was
Oh, that
really
was on What the
pretty.
Fish Friday night. I drew
Yeah,
that.
it's really pretty. It has really pretty yellow flowers, but I have never seen anything that aphids like to eat more. And unfortunately, the thing they like second most of all are lotuses. And so they attracted aphids to my pond, and then they just decimated my lotuses. So I'm not going to grow it again, ever again. And I'm going to plant nasturtiums all around my pond, which I can grow from seed. And they are apparently a good trap crop for aphids. And so the aphids can eat that. And if they don't need it, like if I don't get a plague of aphids this year by some miracle, then I mean the nasturtiums are really pretty. They have really pretty flowers that you can actually eat them, and you can eat the greens too. You can put them in salads.
There
So
were there were 4 shedded cicadas in the pond today. Like
that
they're
happens, yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, so apparently this year we have like 2 broods of the of the 13 year and the 17 years are coming out, and
Gross.
the epicenter of that is going to be Illinois. So like all of the Midwest West is going to be loud, really, really loud.
It's not allowed yet, but I don't know if these are like if these are the normal ones. I mean, we get some form of them every year.
Yeah. So June mentions that she likes watching praying mantises eat aphids, and I did have some really cool praying mantises. However, there were so many aphids they couldn't keep up. It was just I've never had a plague of aphids before. It was really bad. So Oinky asks, is there any bulb stem plants that you've grown in and outdoors? I'm trying to decide on which ones will be the first experimental victim in my infinity tank wraparound tray. Bulbs.
Hmm.
That tank is not very big, right?
I don't remember.
So you want something. So would this be the immersed part of that tank, Winky? Because I guess you could try some like spring bulbs, might be kind of fun. They have to have a cold storage
Yeah,
time
I mean, I
first,
did put
but
one of
like
those red tiger lotus
those get really,
in.
really big.
No, the ones from, well, yeah, big for that tank, I guess, but it was too small for the pond. The other lily just took it over.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, you can grow those instead, but honestly, they're just better looking water lilies out there. I mean, they're tropical water lilies that look better, so I've never bothered, but you could.
Hmm.
So, for your infinity wraparound tank and you want a bulb, but let us know, is this going to be completely immersed? Because isn't there a portion of it that's completely immersed?
Yeah, I feel like we saw a video of it, unless we're thinking about something different.
I mean, I think that it would look really cool to do some spring bulbs in it. So, like some grape hyacinths, they're really tiny, muscari. They need a cold storage period first, but you can keep them in your fridge and every now and again plant a few of them, and those are really pretty. Um, and that would be a bulb. You could also do some miniature daffodils. That could be pretty. But I mean, if it has to be a bulb, and those, by the way, are not going to do well in the tank. Like you can't grow them submerged. But so Shabby Fest Fish asks, "This is what I swear by, albeit a bit different. I let wild thistle grow next to my plants, and aphids always go to them instead of my personal plants." That's interesting. I've never heard of that as a trap crop, but
I get thistle growing in my yard already
so
right
like
after a rain.
the Canadensis thistles, like the Canada thistles, do
I
those
have no
work?
idea what kind. Brooklyn could tell you. She went foraging in my yard, and
Yeah, the ones we have up here that are really noxious are the Canadensis ones. They're really, really invasive. But I'm gonna try nasturtiums. Those are at least pretty. So I bought some seeds for those. You grow those from seeds. They have pretty big seeds. So we'll see how
bull
they go.
thistle, she
Boa
said.
thistles. I don't think we have those up here. So Corework says thistles are good for pollinators too. They have really pretty flowers, really pretty purple flowers. The Canadensis thistles, though, are very, very habitat destructive. And they suck to step on. So I would probably pull those because they're pretty bad for Midwest habitats. So the nasturtiums, though, the frost will kill those. So like I'm not,
Mm.
creating any problems. So okay, Oinky says yes, it would be the outside tray which wraps around the front of a 20 high with the waterfall flowing into it. So
Okay.
it would have to be something that can stand having like its leaves getting really, really wet. And I don't know how happy those spring bulbs are gonna be with that. I think that you could maybe try some crypts because those will convert to immersed and look pretty good. You could try
Yeah.
that. You could try some terrarium plants. Maybe would do well. Like some smaller ferns might look good. Coralworks asks, there's no native thistles in your area. I mean, there probably are. It's just that I'm not as familiar with them. I don't know. And we have those really, really nasty Canadensis thistles.
Chevy Fish said she put cigarette butts on top of her plants.
I don't smoke, so I don't have any cigarette butts. So that's probably not going to work for me. I'm going to try those nasturtiums. See how that goes. But I'm also not going to plant water poppy this year. And I mean, I've never had a lotus problem before, or lotus problem. I mean, I guess I have a lotus problem. I've never had an aphid problem before. So, you know, hopefully that will also help. Yeah. Zenny says 10 of us need to make better life choices. Yeah, get on that.
So I'm going to be buying more pond plants soon because Jenna won one of those easy caves from KJE.
Oh, fun.
And he's getting pond plants in. And I don't know what he's going to get in because Jenna didn't pick anything in particular. So it's whatever he gets in. But like, what should I add to the pond?
I don't really like anything on the top row for you.
Nah.
I have grown bloody dock before. That is really pretty. And it's edible. It's a good salad green. It tastes really good.
Oh yeah, I think I tried that, but it was just like I got it in the heat of summer, and so I didn't do well. I should try that again.
Pickerel rush is really nice. I really like that plant. It blooms all season long with those purple flowers. It is native to where I live. You are kind of on the edge of where it's native to. So I don't know, maybe it'd be a little too hot where you live, but I think it's worth trying. That one's perennial. That's a nice plant, purple pickerel rush.
Okay.
Firecracker plant, Coffea. So you can buy that at the garden center, and there are probably much, much better varieties of Coffea that you could also try if you wanted to do that. That's a cool plant because hummingbirds are crazy for it.
Oh. But Candy says she has the chameleon plant, and it's a great plant. I had it. I lost it. I could try it again.
Yeah, I've never grown that one. I do know that pickerel rush is really nice, and the bloody dock is also really nice. And also it tastes really good. Verbomysa, I don't know that one. You have the did you get Iris Versicolor? Or did you get the Iris Louisiana one?
I think Versicolor.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's not doing as well as it should, because that one is native to where I live. There's a Louisiana iris.
I might have two different kinds, but I haven't seen them bloom, so I have no idea.
They take a year or so to settle in. Maybe they're just not there yet.
It could be because it's been maybe almost a year.
I mean, taros are always good. They're always lots of fun in ponds. Didn't I send you one? I can't remember.
A taro?
I sent you
I got it from somewhere. I do have one.
Here. Yeah, those are always fun. For me, they're annuals unless I can store them in the basement if I want. They're fun.
Ooh, I would like one of these though. I like that flower.
That's native to where you live. So they don't flower for very long, but the couple weeks when they do flower is pretty spectacular. Yeah, I would get that, honestly.
I got the green arrow. Yep.
I would get the Louisiana iris because it's native to where you live. Scroll.
And I have corkscrew rush already.
Yeah, that's always a fun plant. I mean, those aren't really pond plants. I don't know why they're in the pond plant
Yes,
section.
they can be. I mean, jungle val. You
Well,
could
lots of
plant
things,
that anywhere.
lots of things
Honeywort.
can be pond plants. So Frogs Fish and More says he or she, I guess I don't know, I shouldn't assume, likes the firecracker plant, and they get one every year from KJE. Yeah, I mean, Coffea is a really fun plant. There are lots of cultivars of that in nurseries. You can buy one at the nursery too, and they probably have some that bloom even more heavily. It hummingbirds really really like it. More water lilies. I don't know that you have room for another
Nah,
water lily.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, because they need room. Crystal ball pennywort. I would not get that. That's invasive where you live. Brazilian pennywort also invasive where you live.
Okay, so yeah, first page.
Yeah,
First
I would get
stuff.
that Louisiana iris. I think that's a good choice for you.
Hopefully he gets that in. Because I guess we could have told him like to order stuff, but we couldn't think of anything we
20
wanted. And
bucks for water hyacinth? Oinky, that's crazy. I
what?
buy that stuff for $5 a plant at my garden center. It's not illegal here because frost kills it. Yeah, it's $5 here.
It's free here. Just go
Yeah.
in the
I
dead of
will,
night.
Oinky, if I see some in the nurseries, I'll buy you some and get you a piece if you want it. Let me know. Because it's $5 here.
It's
Yeah,
351
Nancy
here.
says she
And
paid like $3 or $5. Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's it's not expensive, and you only need to buy one because it will turn into many, many more.
and I could get water spray, but then I have room for nothing else because that crap will.
I would not bother with water spray. Like,
I have before, and then it produced an entire like it choked out an entire 29-gallon, and then I sold it all off. I actually made money. People wanting to buy water sprite.
yeah. Cora says, "Is it too hot for lupins, Stephen? That's a good hummingbird plant."
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. There are Texas bluebonnets, which are a species of lupin. Those grow in Texas, so they'll also grow in Louisiana. That's a choice. Those bloom in March where you live, and they're little plants.
Mhm.
They're pretty small, but like the lupins, like where you live, Coro, I think it's too hot. I think it's too hot. So that would be something to plant around the pond, which you could plant all kinds of things around the pond if you wanted, like just in the dirt. So I
Yeah, I
mean,
was
you wouldn't
thinking
have to
about
care
that,
that much.
or like just getting another pond.
Get
I
another
don't know.
pond. Why not? Why
I got
not?
room. I could fill that whole space with pond.
One.
I got to be able to walk and access the RO unit stuff, but other
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that,
And your dogs have to have room to go outside and
well, they have that whole yard.
they
I have a
do.
big yard, but it's just all shaded. That one
Yeah,
spot
it's
by the
pretty big.
hose is where I actually get sunlight. Always get another pond.
Yeah, Candy's right. I mean, I've kind of maxed out. I don't know that I have room for even one more pond. Maybe one more.
Mhm.
But it would have to be pretty small cuz like my yard is so tiny. I have to have room for my picnic table. Also, I grow some things that are not ponds. Like I grow this year I'm growing I think 15 dahlias. I grow zinnias and cosmos, and so I have things I plant in the dirt too, which are less work because it rains enough here. I don't even have to water those. So, I do have some other things to grow, but my yard is very, very tiny. Core Work says field trip to Tractor Supply. I go to Tractor Supply all the time because that is where we buy kitty litter and cat food.
Oh, I'm gonna be home alone this weekend too.
Oh, where's Jenna
So she's
going?
going to a family reunion, and she's bringing the kids and her mother up in North Louisiana. Oh, so that also means no McStreamy this Friday.
You
Just
want to
letting
be
y'all
with
know early enough.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good weekend to do another pond then, unless
Should
it's
be.
super hot. But like, you want to, if you're gonna do it before it gets crazy hot, and do it while they still have stuff in the garden centers, because it gets to the point where everything gets really cleared out where you live.
And Berkeley says, let's get it. Okay, but I'm only going to have my car. And we learned that lesson last time.
Oh, that's
When I bought the
true.
pond and I was like, this will fit in my car. It
No,
did
it
not. We
won't.
had to leave it.
Okay, I will drive down there with my truck and we'll go pick it up. Yeah, you would have to pick it up ahead of time and then you could do it. Because I mean, well, would it fit in? Well, if Brooklyn had her vehicle, maybe you could put it in. Candy
Okay.
says he votes for New Pond Weekend for Steven. I mean, it's a good idea. Tie it to the top.
Yeah, we didn't have anything to tie it down either. But yeah, if Josh has the plumbing truck, then problem solved. We can get like a 300 gallon. I just don't have room for that.
Yeah. But you could do another one. So
Mm-hmm.
Chevy Fish says she likes moss roses, no fuss perennials. Those are not perennials where I live. It's too cold. They're pretty though. Portulaca. Portulaca.
Google that one.
I don't know if they grow well where you live either.
Mixed colors.
Here they're annuals.
Portulaca grandiflora. Flora.
There are a few different species of portulacas. They're pretty though. They're very short. I think that you should plant some stuff that gets a little bit taller to soften the edges of the pond and also like cool it down a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jenna says that sounds like Kelly is giving me a task to pick up a pond because I'm the one with the van. Jenna, you never have to pick up the pond. Steven can take your van and do it himself. That
Not
is
this
the man's
weekend.
job. That is not your job.
But not this weekend because she's taking
right.
the van to the family reunion. So we'll have to borrow somebody else's vehicle if we're gonna do that.
Definitely. But
I
Jenna,
feel like
you never have to pick up a pond. That is the way that goes.
this is why it happened last time because Jenna was out of town and I had my car and then yeah.
Something like that. I mean, if Brooklyn had a vehicle, you could maybe do it. But it's a good weekend project. And you want to definitely do it before it gets too hot. So
Yeah.
Corework says long term he wants to build a little trellis arch thing over the top of the whole pond. Here's the issue with that. It's gonna shade your pond. And water lilies need sun. They need sun. Especially where you live. It doesn't get that hot. Like, your water lilies need sun. So that is the only problem. It would be better to do a trellis like on a pathway next to your pond so you could like walk through it.
Well, speaking of trellis arches, I actually do need one because this is the backyard.
Oh yeah.
And like these are all wild blackberries, elderberries, or dewberries.
Yeah, so those are not going to trellis up well. What you need to do to get those looking better is prune them. You need to prune out all the dead canes because they will only bear fruit on canes for like 3 years. And honestly, if you really want blackberries and raspberries, which I mean is a great thing to have, they're better varieties. They're ones that bear more.
I didn't. I just like that they showed up in the backyard in abundance and just like keep spreading. I'm like, all right, that's fine. We'll harvest them.
They're varieties that don't have any thorns too, which is really
that's magical.
Yeah, I know. So it's like if you want raspberries, there's a better way to get a raspberry patch.
Salmonberry.
Salmon berries will definitely not grow where Steven lives. It is too hot. But I love salmon berries. They taste great. They're like a golden raspberry.
Oh.
It grows in the Pacific Northwest. Matt says, stop being so sexist, Kelly. There's no man's job or woman's job. We're all equal. It's true, but some of us should not have to lift a pond. And that someone is Jenna. Like, Steven can lift his own damn pond. Jenna doesn't know.
That was the plan. It was the plan. But it worked out because I was going with the 110 gallon pond. So I'm like, that one will fit in the car. That one didn't fit. Had to leave it at Tractor Supply. And so when Jenna stopped buying and got it, she could fit a 150-gallon pond. So she upgraded and brought home the 150.
Bigger is better. And the thing is like you really don't want to do tiny ponds where you live because it gets too hot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would like
it's
to
just
stick with 100-gallon or better or greater.
yeah, those small ponds where you live, they have to be sunk in the dirt because it's too hot. So Chevy Fish says that she's zone 5 and the Portulaca came back. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, you could plant cannas in the dirt around your pond and they would do really well. And they would, maybe take the temperature down a degree or two, which would help.
Yeah, I've got rice. I started with like 10 full-grown rice fish in there, and then I was down to like 4. Then I saw 3, and now I'm only seeing 1 adult, but I'm seeing a lot of babies in
Oh,
there.
that's good. That's good. I mean, maybe they just weren't real robust when you got them because it's not hot yet there.
Could be.
It's not hot at all yet. I mean, have you been hitting days in the 90s yet?
Oh no, no,
Oh
we're
yeah, it's
80.
not.
80 is probably the worst we've gotten right now. It's 72.
I mean, because my rice fish have done fine in the hundreds.
Yeah,
We don't stay in the hundreds long. We might have only a couple days in the hundreds, but it's not uncommon for us to have weather in the 90s. So it's just not hot that yet.
yeah. I need to test the water just to make sure like it's not leaching anything. I don't think so.
My guess is they just weren't real robust to begin with. But since you have fry, you should be okay.
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
Chevy Fish says she wraps her ponds in aluminum foil and puts a car sunshade around them to keep them cooler. And that's an idea.
Yeah,
My friend Lori down in Florida, she's in Central Florida, she paints her ponds white.
interesting.
Yeah, to keep them cooler. But I mean, at a certain point, it's just so hot where you live that
She painted the inside of them white, or just the
inside and outside, she painted the whole thing white.
oh.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, well, I'm not gonna be painting the inside of the pond at this point. But
no, I mean it's got water in it.
maybe if
Yeah.
I get a new one.
But I honestly think the best thing you could do would be to plant around it. I think that would help.
Yeah,
Just a couple degrees, which makes a difference.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Brooklyn says she likes the look of white. I mean, yeah. Corework says you can get big rolls of Reflectix if you want something removable or a larger shape than a car sunshade. Yeah, I mean that's an option.
Yeah, I like the idea of surrounding it with plants though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it would look really good. And
Mhm.
cannas, I mean, they're so I mean, you've seen your ditches. Like your ditches are so full of cannas. They come in lots of really pretty varieties. And every single canna will grow well in Louisiana. Doesn't just pick any of them. It doesn't matter. They all grow well. And there's other things you can grow too. I don't know the plants that grow in Louisiana as well because it's very different from my climate. But you can just go to the garden center. You and Brooklyn can go together and see what you like. But I would do something that was a little taller, at least the height of the pond, just to cool it off a little bit. So Coreworks says planters and soil around the pond or thermal mass. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have all those hanging planters and pots around mine, but those have to be watered. But if you put stuff in the ground,
Well,
you might need to water them a little at first.
I
But
have to like if I'm gonna do this, I have to automate it because I will be diligent about watering it for about a
yeah,
month. And
yeah,
then I'm gonna skip a day, and then I'm gonna forget that I skipped a day and skip another day, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden it's gonna be a freaking desert out there. If we have another drought this summer, like we did last summer, holy crap, it
yeah.
killed
So
everything.
the thing is, if you plant stuff in the ground in an average summer for you, it probably rains enough that it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it did not last summer though. That's what I'm worried
Yeah,
about. Like that was really bad, and I hope that's not gonna become the new normal.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to say.
Like all my grass died. It came back, but like it was all
Yeah.
just
I mean,
dust.
I think it was maybe a fluke.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, even before climate change, there are sometimes droughts. It's just a thing that happens.
Mm.
So, but usually you guys get a good amount of rain. So, I mean, you would need to water a little bit at first for a couple weeks till things get established. But once it's established, the rain would take care of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would plant stuff in the ground. You and Brooklyn can pick out some stuff together. I just don't know I don't know the plants that grow in Louisiana as well.
Berkeley does. So,
Yeah, definitely. And
yeah.
you can go to the garden center and just see what they have too. And you
Hmm.
can look it up and, you know, that's, I do that a lot. So,
There should be a Willet Pond website.
yeah. CoreWorks says if you automate it, you can automate pod and water changes with drip line. Yeah, you can. I mean, you could automate a thing where you drip stuff into the pond and then water change it out of the pond to water stuff. I mean, it's a thing you could do.
Yeah,
Not a
I'm
thing I've
nervous
been.
about automating water changes with chloramine.
Oh, right. You guys have chloramine. Yeah, I
You
mean,
can't just run it through a carbon block the same way you can chlorine, and it won't gas off fast enough.
yeah, we use chlorine in my
Hmm.
municipality, and I can't even detect it with test strips. I feel fine doing like a 10% water change in my ponds without even using the chlorinator. I would never trust my rainbow fish with no dechlorinator. I mean, they're precious rainbows. And I do like 80% water changes in a pond. I never do that much. So,
Yeah,
you know, but yeah, if you have chloramine, yeah, you don't want to
I've
do
only done one water change in the pond. It was right at the start of spring.
yeah, but I think your best bet would just be to plant stuff in the ground. I think it would look nice. I think it would cool the pond a little bit. I think it'd
Coro,
be
send me a
really,
link to the drip system that you were talking about.
yeah. I'll try to find the one too. It's Proven Winners makes it,
Okay.
and they have it at Home Depot and Lowe's. You could also order it from Home Depot and Lowe's too. So Corwick says, "Are either of the kids interested in the garden at all? Do they get summers off down there? I don't know.
Uh,
Are your kids into gardening?
no. They do get summers off. I don't know. Maybe Zachary's into gardening and Roblox, virtual gardening. I don't know.
He's
There's
never
so many.
tried it, so maybe he
Mhm.
might be. It's hard to say. I was super into gardening as a kid. My nephews are very into gardening, but I have really outdoorsy nephews, so
Yeah, my kids are
they're
my
indoor
kids.
kids.
They're yeah.
They're indoor kids.
We're
Yeah,
all inside cats around here.
that's right. Yeah. Also, being outside in the summer where you live is not that great.
It's terrible. It's yeah, not
Yeah,
good.
it's really nice to be
Miserable.
outside in the summer here. It's very pleasant. So, yeah. Corey says, I figured just dripping into the pond to top up and having a hole drilled with screen or something to drain out. If you can use the regular power and hose, you don't need the solar drip system. I would not drip it into the pond with your chloramine situation, but
I mean, I could drip
you wanted to,
there's the RO water basin right next to it, but then I'd have to like run another like separately for the pond there, and it only holds like 40 gallons, and I'm using the
yeah,
RO water for my water changes in some of the tanks.
yeah. I,
So
I guess if I were you, I would focus on things you could plant in the ground.
yeah, because I
Not
don't think
more-
the pond water changes I don't have to do it often, or at least I'm not doing it often. It seems to be all right.
Mhm.
It needs a top off soon.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of water changing in my ponds either. I mean, I have to top off. It rains a lot here. My ponds are very full right now. We've had a ton of rain. It's the spring, so
Yeah.
it does rain a lot here. I mean, but we could have a drought anytime. I mean, it could happen. I mean, the Midwest, Iowa had some really bad droughts in the 80s, but not really since then. Nothing like that. So we've had floods. Like floods have been a problem.
I have Jenna, Brooklyn, and Kelly. Fortunate. Yeah, indeed.
And I have Steven, which also is fortunate. Like we're all lucky to have each other.
Indeed.
That's right. Yeah. Lady Rorschach says, "Hi all, I'm already planning for summer tubbing and gardening ventures. I'm busy collecting plants and I just set up a petite little greenhouse." That's very
Sweet.
cool. Make sure you show us pictures. We want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm on the Discord. And if you're not on the Discord, why
Oh,
not?
she's on the Discord.
No, I
But
mean
yeah,
other
for anyone
people,
else who's
like,
not on the Discord,
join on the Discord so we can talk and see pictures. Yeah. That's awesome. You had a really cool pod last year. You did some good stuff. So that's awesome. I mean, if you've never done a summer tub before, it's like gardening on easy mode. And it's way easier than an aquarium. It's way easier to grow plants.
I
It's
agree.
so hands off. It's so hands off. I mean, I put a lot of time into these tanks. Like, because I do water changes every week. I have pruning to do. I have my fish to feed. I don't even feed my fish in my ponds outside because there's so many bugs for them to eat. Like if you live in a climate that is not buggy, like the Pacific Northwest is not particularly buggy.
Will they eat that cicada that fell in there?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the shell they won't.
Yeah,
But like
I don't even know if it's if it's just the shell or if a whole cicada's in there.
yeah, if the whole cicada drowned in the pond, yeah, they'll eat it. I mean, it's So Sarah says that there are some drought burn warnings counties on the east side of the state. I did not know that. My parents, they've had a lot of rain in Waterloo, and they're on the east side of the state. So not every county. Here, though, it's I mean, we've had a lot of rain. So Zenny says, "I don't feed my fish." Kelly 2024, y'all heard it here. I mean, outside, I don't feed my fish. Inside,
Yeah,
I
you
feed
gotta
my
feed
fish a
rainbows.
lot.
Yeah,
They're
rainbows are
hungry.
hungry.
And Nancy B says she had success with pond plants. You did awesome. Like your ponds look so good. It is, I mean, it is gardening on easy mode. It's so fun. So Brooklyn asks how your Sumatra neon loaches are doing. Those are fancy.
I'll let you
Are
know
they
next time I
ocean
see
or-
them. I have them in the tank I showed earlier, the 16-gallon. That is like the tank of shy fish. The rummy nose rasboras are super skittish and shy.
They're
The
very
pygmy corridors, same way. Now there's the Sumatran loaches. Never see those, and I put a couple of sparkling gouramis in there. And yeah, like if you're really quiet and you're like on the other side of the room, then things will come out.
The more expensive a rasbora is, the
I know, right?
shyer it will be. If you want to buy some like cheap old like pork chop rasboras or whatever you call them, like the really cheap rasboras, they're very, very, very not shy. But if you want to get expensive rasboras, no. Yeah. So Sarah says she's had lots of rain. It's just east of your parents and me. So that must be more like around Dubuque. Like that must be like Dubuque and south of like Davenport that are in drought. But yeah, my parents have had tons of rain. So
This tank has 6 rummy nose rasboras, 2 sparkling gouramis, like 4 Sumatran loaches, and like a dozen pygmy corridoras, and you can't see a damn thing because I got up to the tank to take a photo, and they're just like, nope. You can
how
see
do
cherry
we
shrimp.
it's not like rainbow fish where they're like, hi, hi, hi. We
Yeah,
want to be in the tank all the time. I mean, it looks like I have a ton of fish in these tanks.
but they're all
And
grouped
it's just
together begging.
And yeah, they all want to be in the front of the tank always. Like they never at the back of the tank. So, oinky ass. Excuse me. Have either of you kept tomato plants with fish? One of the coolest, frightening things I've ever seen. Gentle guppies destroying cherry tomatoes that have been grown in their tank like ravenous wolves. I have never grown tomatoes in my ponds. Tomatoes get really, really big. So when I do grow tomatoes, I plant them in the ground because they like to get big. I mean, they might grow well in a pond. Lots of things will grow in a pond, so maybe they would do well. I can't grow tomatoes anymore though because I will eat all of the tomatoes, and I love tomatoes. I just should not.
They don't love you.
No, they don't. And I have no chill around tomatoes. I have no self-control. I will eat them until I throw up. Um,
I can't. I
yeah,
want to do that though. I want to grow some tomato plants. Can I do
I would try
hydroponic?
it.
Yeah.
You could grow tomatoes all around your pond if you wanted. They need very good staking. So either like baskets or you can tie them up. They also need to be pruned. I'm really good at growing tomatoes. Like I used to grow like hundreds of pounds of tomatoes, and I would can them and make sauce and I would eat them. And those
So
days are past. I can't do that anymore.
welcome in Ryan Sukrim. Says, hey guys, what filter do you recommend for a pleco grow out tank? My sponge
Oh
filter gets
wow.
clogged easily and gets the tank really messy. So I grew out about 150 bristlenose plecos in a 29-gallon tank. The answer is everything's going to get clogged. You're going to have to do lots of feeding, lots of water changes, and lots of filter cleaning. Uh, I had my 29-gallon was bare bottom. I had two Aqua Clear 70s in there just because I had them on hand. I would just get one larger filter. I also had sponge filters in there on the co-op battery powered air stone just because I didn't want to lose power. And like, yeah, that tank was a time bomb if I did not stay on top of maintenance. And so I would say lots and lots of flow to kick up all the crap that they're going to produce and all the excess food, and then just be prepared. You're going to be doing maintenance. Like you're going to be cleaning sponges, you're going to be cleaning filter media regardless of what you put in there.
And I can't help you with this question because I have never had a pleco. Never. Not one. Never.
They're messy. And yeah, I
I
was
don't
feeding them
like
all the time, like skewers and skewers of rapashi and zucchini, and it's just a
one baby pleco is the bio load of like 10 rainbows.
probably.
I would rather have 10 rainbows. So yeah, I've never had a pleco.
Yeah, Zen says plecos are dirty. Yep, 150 plecos, very dirty.
So Coralwork says Vinoski has a video growing a potato out of the back of his tank. I have grown sweet potatoes out of in ponds before. They're kind of cool. They have cool vines they grow. But for like a potato to grow potatoes, like to harvest potatoes, I don't think you're gonna get very good tuber production. So, but
I know Berkeley was growing sweet potatoes out of her or the vine or something. It was just
yeah,
as a
yeah, sweet
nitrate
potatoes,
sponge.
they're fun. You're not gonna get good like sweet potato production, but if you just want a cool vine, yeah, those do well. I've done that before. Tomatoes would do very well around your pond, and they get very tall. I mean, the tomatoes I grew in Iowa, the tomatoes there are so good. Mine were like well, they were almost as tall as me, and I'm 5'10". So they would shade your pond very nicely. You do need to tie them up, and I can give you all the tips and tricks to do really good at growing tomatoes. I'm very good at it. And then like you can show me pictures of your tomatoes, and like I can be really sad because I'm not eating them.
I'll do like a tomato mukbang live stream. Just have a big bowl of tomato.
No. I mean, I can eat a few tomatoes. Like I'll get some from the farmer's market. But if I grow tomatoes, I will want to eat them all. And I, I gotta not do that. I gotta eat less tomatoes. So sad.
Hmm. and Berkeley did a mod thing, and she did great.
She did good. Good job, Brooklyn. Yeah, Steven has a really good video on breeding plecos. I mean, it didn't make me want to breed plecos.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't meant to be an
no,
encouraging video, just more of a like, this is the reality. I
it's kind
made
of discouraging, actually.
I made money. I made a good bit of money breeding plecos, but it was also during the pandemic, and it wasn't easy to acquire plecos or really any fish at any given moment. So my LFS was like more than happy to take as many as I could give them at a certain size during that time. Nowadays, like bristlenose plecos, they breed like guppies. Basically, they're really
Yeah.
prolific. So you got to make sure that you have a market for them.
Coralworks says I'm gonna feed my plecos to a heron. They're so messy. So
Poor
Coralworks
heron.
can do that because plecos will not survive his climate. Stephen does not have that option. He will
No.
just be releasing plecos into the swamps of Louisiana,
Yeah.
and they don't need that. So yeah.
I was watching a live stream on TikTok the other day where they were bow fishing like at night in Florida. And they were, anytime they see movement in the water, they'd shoot it with a bow. And they, like, half of the fish they pulled up were giant common plecos.
Yeah, they're so bad for the environment. I mean, I remember I went to in Texas the San Marcos River, which is absolutely amazing. If you go to Central Texas by San Antonio, it's the San Marcos River. It's so clear and it's like knee deep, so it's not that deep. And it's pleasant temperature and you can walk along it like in the river itself, and there's tons of plants growing, aquatic plants like that you will recognize.
Nice.
It's a very, very pleasant way to spend the day. So if you are anywhere near Central Texas or you just want a vacation, go there in March, which is a nice time of year to go to Central Texas. It's really, really cool. I like that a lot, the San Marcos River. So but
Hip
maybe
hop.
don't go there in August. It's probably too hot.
God, no. Don't
Hip
go.
hop hillbilly. I gotta admit, I'm just in love with my new 20-gallon pea puffer, orange Venezuelan cories, and peacock gudgeon tank. Something about it just draws me in more than others. Those are some cool fish. I am surprised that the pea puffers would be okay with the cories and
Yeah.
especially
Well,
the peacock gudgeon. Because
usually the
peacock gudgeons
cories will
are
kind of keep to
feisty.
themselves. Like, cories will leave them alone. But yeah, the gudgeons,
The gudgeons are
surprise.
kind of feisty. I am surprised that that's working. Those are all very cool fish. If they're working, they're working. But I am
Yeah.
surprised. Lots of people like to keep peacock gudgeons with rainbows. They're from the same part of the world, so they're kind of a good tank mate. And rainbows are also kind of feisty fish. They're not going to be bothered by a peacock gudgeon. So
Yeah.
oh, we have another kitty. Come here, big kitty. Oh yeah, what's a big kitty?
A big kitty.
See my big kitty. No?
He seems less upset, but still kind of like not feeling it.
I mean, he doesn't like it. What's he
Eh.
gonna do about it? Oh.
Claw your face. I don't know.
He's a very big kitty. He's like big fluffy kitty. Oh, now I'm covered in cat hair.
Yeah, that's a fluffy one. Where's Fat Kitty?
Fat Kitty is asleep on the couch.
Hmm.
He has not moved in hours.
Coro asks, how big of a tub does Big Kitty need?
It's a big one. Actually, he doesn't. He really likes tiny little spaces. He likes my laundry basket. He really wants to get in my suitcase. I'm like, how is this different than a cat carrier? Like, you hated the cat carrier. Why do you want in my suitcase?
Because he is deciding, and he didn't decide to go in the cat carrier.
He did not.
And
He has to go in again, though, because he has his dental appointment. He's going to get a trip to the kitty dentist. He's got to have blood work next week and go to the kitty dentist. So, Lady R says, I would love to add a new fish to the pond this year. Any suggestions? The rainbow shiners did awesome. You know, I really love rice fish. They are my favorite. They are so cool. They breed like crazy. I am not a good fish breeder at all, but I have bred lots of rice fish. So that would be my choice.
Yeah. I don't have anything to compare them to, but I have gold Medaka rice fish. And they're easy to see in the pond. That's kind of my criteria is
Uh,
like if I can see in the black bottom pond in between the lily leaves that there's a fish in there.
yeah, if you can find the platinum Adakas, they're the best by far. They look so awesome. They're like little silver streaks. And they breed like crazy. They're super easy. I mean, I did nothing and I bred thousands of them. So that's what I recommend. So Sarah suggests that the gudgeons will enjoy rock stacks and caves. Hmm. All right, Carlos Diaz says, "Hey everyone, been lurking. Hope everyone's day is good. I heard Dr. Foreman talk about kitty litter dirt for the pond, but did she say how to make it or mix it? So what you should do is mix about 1 part of cheap topsoil, so not like you don't want any vermiculite or perlite in there, the little white specks. You want cheap topsoil, like the generic kind that has nothing in it. 1 part of that, and then 4 parts of kitty litter, and you want unscented, the cheapest kitty litter, like Special Kitty or Tidy
Yeah.
Cat, like really
Like just basically it's just
not
clay and
comfy.
nothing
Yeah,
else, no
not comfy.
scenting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Montmorillonite clay. You could also do 1 part topsoil with 4 parts of the what is that stuff? What's the baseball conditioner?
Oh, the safety orb.
I can't remember why I can't remember that name. Safety's orb. Yeah, safety's orb. You could also use that. That won't get soft like the kitty litter will. The kitty litter will turn to mud, which is
Mhm.
totally fine for a water lily. Whatever. I wouldn't use an aquarium and look like crap. But the safety's orb is fired, so it will stay gravelly, but it will also work fine. Um,
So if
yeah,
you were using safety orb, you would still mix it with soil?
yeah, I would. Yeah. You can also buy pond substrate. It does work really, really well. It's expensive. It's made by a company called Aquascape. It's expensive. I mean, I don't know why I have
Is
no
it
problem.
expensive like stratum expensive?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Which I have no problem doing an aquarium inside because that lasts for years. But water lilies have to be repotted every year.
yeah.
So that's why I'm going to try the kitty litter. And Nancy's, God, her water lily did so well with kitty litters. So that's why I'm going to give it a go and see if I like it better.
I might have to do that.
You should not use that though, because you can just use dirt from your yard, which will be so perfect.
Would it
Is
be would it be better than kitty litter though?
No, it will. The dirt from your yard will probably be better because you have very
Mm,
heavy clay soil. It will be
yeah.
perfect.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter if you're repotting it every year, then it doesn't.
Yeah, and the thing is like you have the perfect dirt outside.
Mm.
You don't need to buy anything.
Cora says, why not just use stratum?
You could. I
It's
mean,
just
you
expensive
could.
as hell.
Yeah, it's expensive and have to repot it every year. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, like I'm not even the aqua soil in my tanks whenever it exhausts itself, I'm not dealing with that. Like I'm not gonna like start cleaning out my tank. I'll just use root
Yeah,
tabs if I need
I
to.
did add, actually, just this last week, I added a little bit of stratum to the corner here because I don't know, it had just gotten really thin there. Like,
Shift it around.
it had just been pushed back too much. So I'm like, I'm tired of these plants popping up all the time. So
Yeah.
I added just a bit to that corner. So yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna like tear down a tank and set it up again, I will put in new stratum. But like I don't want to do that every year. But water lilies, I do them every single year. So Hip Hop Hillbilly asks, my banana plants keep floating and extending roots out of the tank. Now you have weird brown hair algae starting. I have
And there's
not
like
grown a banana plant in a very long time.
yeah,
Steven can't grow banana plants.
forbidden here,
They're off the list.
not allowed.
He also can't keep pet cockroaches. I mean, there are just some things he can't do.
I can't feed her cockroaches or feed her any roaches.
It's off the list.
Can't raise even the dubias. Yeah, I don't know. Weird brown tan hair algae starting.
I mean,
I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know that that's related to your banana plants extending roots out of the tank. I would say that weird brown algae, if it's like the soft brown algae, that in my experience is a phase of tanks that they go through on their own.
Yeah.
But if it's hair algae, you've got to work at getting a balance between your light, your CO2 if you use it, and your nutrients. I would probably turn down your light a bit.
Did we answer Lady R about the this biological mosquito control liquid solution for summer tubs? That's not the
Um,
same as what you were talking about, right?
no, so I use mosquito dunks, or you could use mosquito bits. They are a natural remedy. They're Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, which is safe for organic gardens. And what they do is they interfere with the life cycle of the mosquito, so it won't metamorphose into an adult. It will just stay in the larval form where your fish will eat it or it will just die, but it won't form a winged adult. So that's what I use is Bacillus thuringiensis. It's very cheap. You can find it at Home Depot or Lowe's, or you can just buy it off Amazon. It's very easy to find. But it's been around a very long time. So that's what I use.
New name, Clemo002. Welcome to the
Welcome.
stream. Wants to know, would Paleotis corridors be happy on fluval stratum substrate indoors? Sorry to go off topic. That's fine. I have longfin Paleotis on stratum, and they are happy as can be.
Yeah.
I have Corys on like the sea chem fluorite, which is like very jagged gravel, and their barbel, they've been on that substrate for 4 years. Their barbels are fine. I have them on regular like smooth gravel. I have them on sand. I even have them on the dreaded black diamond blasting sand that everyone says, oh my god, don't ever put those with Corys. They're fine. They're
Yeah, I've
absolutely
done that
fine.
too. And I think that really what matters for barbel health is good water quality
Yeah.
and just keeping them healthy. And so do your water changes. I mean, the best thing that you can do for your fish are large frequent water changes. I change like 70% a week. But whatever works for you,
Mm-hmm.
large regular water changes, I think keeps the barbels healthy. So
I'm pretty sure in the wild they're not always on sand either.
yeah.
Like sometimes it's jagged rocks.
Yeah, I mean they know better than like shoving their face to hurt their barbels,
Yeah,
just keeping them healthy.
well, yeah, also feed them well so they don't have to feel like they've got to like dig through the gravel. Oh yeah, that's what I was referring to when Corey went collecting Corydorus. They were on jagged rocks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What matters is that you keep them healthy. You feed them well. You change their water. That makes a big difference for them. Make sure they don't, the tanks don't get riddled with fungal diseases. So yeah, they'll be just fine. Yeah, and Lady R, that is definitely a fish safe remedy. It interferes with invertebrate molting, so anything that metamorphoses, so it's not going to harm your fish.
Got it.
So Melvin says that's what he used back in 2020 was Tidy Cat kitty litter for his tank. It did work for a while. It didn't have any sand or gravel to cap it, so it kept floating around at the top when you filled it. Yeah, and that's true in my experience of all clay-based substrates that are not aqua soils. I use this product called Soil Master Select, which is a baseball field conditioner, and I don't know that they make it anymore. It looked really good and it grew plants, but it just floated up all the time. It was so annoying. And kitty litter will do the same. It also will kind of turn to mush after a while. The thing is with a water lily, it's going to be mixed with some soil, and then I always frost the top of it with like 2 inches of pea gravel, and that weighs it down, and it also keeps the tuber in place. And I'm also not really, until I repot it, I'm never uprooting it. So it will be just fine. You can also, if
Mhm.
you have problems with your water lily uprooting, you can put a small rock on top of it to hold your tuber in place. So that works too.
Cool.
And Lady R says her Corys do well on carob sea substrate. Yeah, so
Oh
they
yeah,
do
I've got the
well on
Carob Sea
yeah,
Supernatural sand. That's
yeah,
most of what my sand substrates are. I have a couple with the black diamond sand.
yeah. It's mostly just how well you take care of them, I think.
And I have like a few dozen coolie loaches on stratum as well. I actually they seem to do better traveling down into the substrate in the stratum because it's softer, lighter, fluffier. I guess it's easier for them to get down
Yeah,
into.
it is a really soft substrate. It's very rounded and
Hmm.
it doesn't feel hard to the touch. Not that that matters for them, but it is very soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hip Hop Hillbilly says, I think it's just a combo of biofilm and the startup algae. Fish and parameters are all good. I'll manually clean it out next water change. Yeah, that could be. I mean, the biofilm does look kind of brownish. I've just noticed that a lot of new tanks go through a brown algae phase. It's kind of like a soft, mushy algae that kind of falls apart, or like a
Yeah.
film. And in my experience, that kind of just goes away. It's a little break-in period. It is ugly and annoying, but it will pass. Things like hair algae, black brush algae, those are harder to deal with. But
Those come along when the tank has been set up for a little while.
yeah, at least a few
You
months.
get complacent and then like the blackbeard pops up on a rock because like it's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
bunch of mulm buried into the rock crevices.
Or they're like seasonal. Like sometimes I'll have, or they're just a sign that says, "Oh, maybe you should clean your canister."
Yeah.
I it's getting close to Canada cleaning season for me because I don't clean canisters during the winter because I like to take them outside to hose off on the medium, and I don't do that in the winter because it's too cold.
Hmm.
But one of these weeks, because I did it last in October, November, so it's time. I do it twice a year. I should do it more, but I don't. I don't.
Lady Rorschach said that orange Venezuelan Corys I sent her. She wishes they would breed, but I have a feeling the pesky platy's picking off the eggs.
Mm,
Yeah, they were definitely breeding in my tank. I don't know if the exact ones I sent you were, but you'll notice when they start swimming around erratically in in the water column, they'll leave deposits of like 100 eggs at a time, it seems, on the glass. But eggs are delicious, so I can
they
imagine
are. I mean,
Platy's
that's
getting
why. I mean, if you have rainbows, you're not going to see a whole lot of Cory
no.
eggs. It's not.
No, I see the Triloniatus and they're spawning all the time, but I don't see eggs.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've Corridorus equus in this tank.
Hmm.
I think I've seen spawning behavior out of them. I've never seen eggs. They're apparently a very hard Cory to breed, and there's rainbows. So I'm never.
It's probably that type of Cory that leaves like one egg on a leaf every week.
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, they're reported to be pretty hard to breed. The Venezuelan ones are not hard to breed. If you're going to
No,
get a Cory, don't spend the money on Equus because the Venezuelan ones look almost the same and are dirt cheap compared to Equus.
did you watch the auction Saturday night? Skipper's what's I forgot what it's called, Aquarius auction. It used to be Fishfam auction.
No, because
Somebody was selling albino gold laser corridoras,
Oh wow.
and I
Never
had to
seen
sit
those.
on my hands not to bid. It was 6 of them for $210, and I still
Do those
regret
look
not bidding on them.
cool? I mean, I've never seen those before
They
because
look like they
lasers are
look like glow fish. They look like glow corridoras, but they're
wow.
not. They're albinos. But they're
Huh,
like a gold, bright gold color.
wow. Because gold lasers are really pretty. I think the green lasers are pretty, but they're kind of expensive.
They
I
are.
don't really have any room for any more Corys.
I didn't either, but I would have figured something out. I
I
have
mean,
enough
I
tanks I can do. I can
yeah,
play
I
musical
get
things.
if I'm gonna get more fish, it's gonna be more rainbows. That's that. That's I gotta stay focused.
Yeah.
I gotta focus. I gotta dial in. This tank though is stocked. Like I don't have room for anything more. This tank, I got a little room, but I'm not wasting that room on Corys.
So I don't know if a spawning mop lady art would help for the orange Venezuelans. I rarely see them put eggs anywhere else except for on like the broad side of a leaf or on glass. I don't know if they
Huh.
versus like my Adolphoi cories, they always lay their eggs up in the copious amounts of hair algae that I have in that tank.
Oh. Well, air
Nature's
algae should
spawning
be
mop.
good for something.
Yeah, it's nature's spawning mop, and all I have in there are vowels, and it's not really a planted tank, so I'm just like, whatever, let it grow.
So Lady R says that she was meaning to share that the same day Fat Kitty went to the vet, her golden retriever Casper got neutered. Oh, a Fat Kitty definitely did not have the worst day. Because here's the thing, he is a drama queen in the cat carrier in the car. But at the vet, he likes the vet. He will hop right up on the exam table, roll over and ask for a belly rub. They give him treats, they pet him, they tell him he's handsome. He likes it. I mean, he and the vet are pals. So he's just a drama queen in the cat carrier.
I don't.
So,
I've never seen a cat just be fine being in a cat carrier.
yeah. I mean, Big Kitty, though, he pees the cat carrier every time, which is way worse.
Phoebe poops in it.
Oh God. Yeah, so I have this like nice soft-sided cat carrier it's really easy for me to carry because it's lighter weight. Can't use that with Big Kitty because he needs something I can hose out
Ugh.
because he pees it. So yeah. Tiny Kitty, she's hard to get to the vet because she's so skittish. These cats, man.
June Val is a planet tank. Just this one, I'm not like keeping up like a planet tank. It's just, but Val will grow
It's very
regardless of what.
it's pretty easy to grow. So, and Melvin confirms that it did turn to mud. So, if he's going to use it again, he would get gravel and sand to put with them. The thing is, in a planted tank, substrates will always mix. That is the way it goes. You cannot stop it.
Yeah.
And so, I never layer substrates because they will always mix in the end. In a pond, though, I'm not uprooting things ever. Once they're planted, they're planted. When I repot them, I take the whole thing and I dump it out in the garden. So that's just a thing to be aware of. It's always going to mix. So I guess I can't recommend kitty litter in an aquarium. It'll work in a pinch, but it's not ideal. So
Chevy Fish said, I think that was the highest bid of the stream. But did anyone get them? I was watching the chat, which was, I didn't see anybody buying them, which was like really giving me the shakes because it's like I could get these and I wouldn't have to be in a bidding war with somebody. And
who was
but
selling them?
Max somebody, his first name was Max,
I don't
and
even know of. I never watched that auction because on Saturday nights I don't watch streams because that's my time with Jake.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, all those cool fish that are being sold, they're not going to me because
I was lurking because Saturday nights now we don't watch any streams because it's a family movie night.
Oh yeah,
But
that's nice.
I was like, I'm gonna pop in on this auction just to see what's selling, because you can watch the auction on mute and watch the
Yeah.
watch the chat and look at the images, and I saw those Corys. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Benjamin said Eduardo bought them for Richard. Oh, that's nice.
oh, what a wow. That was really nice of him
All
because
right,
he will
so
love
let's
them and
all
you'll
keep an
probably breed
eye. Exactly, let's all keep an eye on Richard, and
them. Get on it, Richard. You either buy them for Richard or for Foxanne. She will also breed them.
oh yeah, someone above was saying who's the best Cory breeder in the fish fam, and I don't know who the best is. I just know there's some like
You know who the best Cory
prolifically
breeder? The best
Foxy and
Cory
Purple.
breeder in the fish fam is Mitchell Broom.
That's true.
That man is a fish. He's got a fish factory going. He breeds so many Corys. Oh my god. Yeah, Mitchell Broom. Wow.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to what everybody's doing unless they're like actively selling them on on live streams, and I hear about them. But yeah, Mitchell Broom for sure.
So Oinky, with her 27-month member milestone,
Oh, I missed that. Thank you, Mickey.
I know. Any rainbow that flashes to the extreme, I've got one for you. Kali Awalim. So it's Chalatharina from Kali Awalim. So it's a yet unnamed species, but it's from a creek. Kali means creek in some New Guinea language. Kalia Wallem, and it flashes like crazy. They are never not fired up. I've never seen anything flash more. They,
Aren't the Blahari are also supposed to be very flashy?
yeah, these flash more. They flash even more. And from my friends that I've talked to, they're like, yeah, nothing fires up like Kalia Wallem. And I just got them. So their baseline color is like silver and blue, but they will turn black and get the racing stripe flashed up, and they will just chase each other all around, or they will turn like white silver. So they're very fired up. They're
I
pretty
don't
cool.
I don't have any more rainbow room.
You don't have any room.
I
Oh my
have I
god.
have only one. I only have 2 tanks that are 4 feet long, and then I have 3 tanks that are 3 feet long, and you can't really go smaller than that. So
So
yeah.
we were at Uncle Bill's last weekend, which is kind of it's like a local pet store chain, and because it's where we buy our cat food and our bunny food. And there was like a 210-gallon tank, and I'm like, oh, maybe we just take this home. I mean, think how many rainbows I could put in this, Jake.
Are those the ones you got Peplin for his birthday?
No, I got him Goldie Eye to Kai, which I have,
Oh,
and Dan's Fish does not stock those. You can only get those from breeders, and I
hmm.
got them from this guy named Victor, who's a fabulous fish breeder. But I wanted Foxy and Peplin to have them because everybody's gonna want them because they are like shiny lavender purple. They're very,
Nice.
very pretty. They always look good. The females look good. The males look good. They are very attractive and they're very, very popular. And I know they will breed them. Aw. Love you guys. Happy birthday. So yeah, I wanted them to have them because everybody's gonna want them. And they're shiny and purple, and that's Foxanne's favorite color. It was Brian's birthday, but I mean Foxanne wanted purple fish. So yeah, so that's what I got them. But I'm also working on getting them eggs from a friend of mine. He is splitting all of his, he is a very serious breeder, and he has decided the way to go is to keep each species in its own tank. So he's going to have
Yeah.
like 40 breeders for every single species of rainbow. So that way he can easily throw them up in and collect eggs. So as once he has that project done, I'm going to get eggs of all of those to Foxy and Peplin. So I can like get more rainbows from them. Because he has some species of rainbows that I really want. And I'm like, well, here's how I make this happen. I get the eggs from this guy, Foxy and Peplin, and they turn them into fish, and then they get them to me. So yeah, because my new bucket list rainbow is Melanitania Synergos. That's the one I want.
What?
Look it up on the Facebook group Rainbow Fish Live. Like there are pictures on there that like it's gonna blow your mind. It's like blue and yellow. Yeah.
Well,
Brian
while
said
I'm
we're Kelly's Rainbow Seed Bank. That's right. This
while
is
I'm
all
looking that up,
self-serving.
probably last question we have time for before we redirect over to Scotty.
That's right. Our opinion on dirted tanks versus like a spectrum planting substrate. Does dirted equals better plants or too much risk? I would not. I've done dirted tanks. I will never do one again. Your results, you can get good plant growth with dirted tanks, but not better than Fluval stratum. And the downside of dirted tanks, it's messy and so much algae because every time you pull up a plant, clouds of dirt pops up and it gets into your water column and it turns into algae. It's a mess. Whereas if you use stratum, you get the same amount of growth, but it's nice and clean. So there's a reason that top aquascapers use aqua soil, and that's because it works.
Yeah. I've never tried a dirted tank. No, those are offspring. This is
That's an okay picture. Scroll down a little, see if you find Jason. He's got some. So Jason is in Ireland. He's got these going. He's had some pictures. Oh, these are all crappy pictures. Where are the good? Yeah, those are the pictures Jason just took.
yeah.
Look at those. Yeah. Dan never has those, and there are only a couple people in the United States who have those going. So that's why I'm trying to get eggs of those to Foxy and Peplin because they will turn them into fish for me. So this is my bucket list rainbow that I want. So.
Oh yeah, Melvin, congratulations on your guppy fry. I sent him some guppies recently, and they're dropping babies. Nice.
Yeah. So Winky says that she has one dirted capped with Sam tank, and gotta be honest, hate it. Yeah, and that's how I felt too. I tried it. It's good to try new things, but I will never go back. I mean, aqua soils they're worth the money. I mean, I get it. It's a lot of money, but this tank has been going for 4 years now. So I feel like I've gotten my money's worth, and it's just clean and it works. So yeah, that's the one. Melanitania Synergos. That's the one I want. Unfortunately, my friend Jason's in Ireland. He can't get me fish. So but I'm gonna get Foxy and Peplin eggs of those, and they're gonna turn them into fish for me. So
and take notice, rainbow fish haters, they don't all get the smushed face. Now, see the red, the whatever they're called.
Yeah, that variety does.
Yeah.
I would say the one that is most torpedo shaped, that is popular, is Chilatharina eleni, either from Wapoga or Sirawu. Both are beautiful. And they are very, very torpedo shaped. But I like the smush. I like a big old smush faced rainbow. Like I like when they get all like a big bull moose fish. I like that look. It means they've lived a good life.
Distinguished gentleman.
That's right. I mean, I too am a little round around the edges. I've lived a good life.
All right. So Scotty's probably gone live. This will automatically redirect you over to Scotty the Fish Freak.
Right. Go watch Scotty. Osama's probably still there. They're scaping. Candy, thank you for doing work while we talk. We appreciate you too.
Indeed. Thanks for coming, everybody. And I won't see you Friday unless I do a random pop-up for whatever reason, but no McStreamy Friday. So we'll see y'all next week for sure.
Well, thank you to our mods, and thank you to all our members. Thank you to our lurkers. Thank you to our replay crew. And we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.